Hi, I'm Shanice, and I am a survivor of sexual assault and trafficking from a woman predator. And I wrote this list specifically with the intent of woman predator tactics, but it also does apply to men predators too, some of them. So yeah, this is based on personal experience, 12 years, repetitive sexual assault, and some research I've been doing. Alright, so let's start on this list. First thing I wrote down is if it's at home. Certain times that predators will want to prey on the children is late at night or early morning when most people are sleeping. If they're left alone with the child, like they're babysitting or no adults are around or in the same room. They also prey during showers, baths, or before or after the shower, getting undressed or getting dressed, helping them get ready. And out in public, some of the places they get access to children alone is in car rides. They're always wanting to bring the kids in the car, especially if there's no other adult. And this is also a sign of trafficking. If an adult is always taking children somewhere alone, yeah, they may be getting food after or before, or toys, whatever, for the grooming. But car rides, very triggering for me when it comes to trafficking. That is where a lot those memories start coming up. Pools. This is from personal experience. I experienced my predator touching me underwater, pretending like she was playing with me. Or if she was, outside of the pool watching, she was not watching, she was gazing with hungry eyes. Looks she should not be giving children. And when I caught her, she would smirk or like try to make it seem like sweet, but I saw the switch. And another tactic I've seen around pools and swimming is women teaching little girls to blow up their swimsuit tops to have boobs, and commenting on children's bodies, whether it's excessive praise or straight up judging. And usually it is a combination of both, from my experience. They will praise and also judge and shame children's bodies. They come off to the adults, or even other children sometimes, as charming and sweet, but kids usually don't like predators. They usually feel off around them, but sometimes the adult is good at grooming and the children actually love them, and not love them, they're fawning. It feels safer. It's nice to believe that, I don't know how to explain it, like see the best in the person, even though they're not being their best self. Like lying to yourself to cope. Giving children special attention in order to isolate them. Keeping that child away from other kids or adults, especially more shy, sensitive, and vulnerable children. Asking adults, parents, to have alone time or babysit with the child usually desperately or just like saying they really, 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 really want to help. They really want to help you out. But really, they just want access to children. And here's a grooming tactic: giving a child toys, food, or excessive praise. Especially if it's the excessive praise and favoritism is directed towards one child. But sometimes predators have multiple victims, and they will use that favoritism tactic as a way to manipulate, keep the children on their toes, keep them walking on eggshells by never knowing who's going to be the favorite. The favorite is always changing. They can go from praising one kid to belittling them the next second, and then praising the other kid. You know, it's a lot of back and forth of being sweet and then bullying the kid. Creating alone time with children, and some of the excuses they use are, if it's a mom figure, bonding with mom, or girl time, or teaching about puberty, helping with homework, playing games. The games are never game. Well, I can't say never. There are some safe people, but that is one thing predators name the abuse as, is a game or make-believe. It's not real. Another excuse is helping the child get dressed or undressed, or helping the child get ready for the day, or get unready for sleep. Predators describe the children as mature, grown, fast. That's one used for girls. If someone is calling your minor child fast, don't leave them alone with them. Trouble. And some of these ones are more negative to describe the child, and that is, so if the child speaks out, nobody believes them. They describe the child as dramatic, or too sensitive or emotional, or manipulative, or always emphasize the fact that children lie or children are manipulative. If they emphasize that a lot, they don't want children talking. They don't want children feeling their emotions, and that is a way they keep themselves protected. Some predators encourage children to kiss, date, or touch other children, and they make it seem like it's cute or funny, but it's pushing children to do something they don't fully understand. They can't fully consent, and they're sexualizing it in their head. And sometimes it goes further than just kissing. They want children to do more, and that's usually if they play games with children. That is one thing they will do, is coerce the children to do things to each other. That is predatory. Never cute, never funny. Trying to paint certain parents or guardians as bad, absent, neglectful, irrational, crazy, because they want to villainize the safe adults, the parents who may spot the signs and speak out. They groom the adults around to make other safe adults seem dangerous, so the eyes are off of them, so nobody suspects that they're the danger. And so if that safe adult does speak out, they look crazy. Also, the last one is children usually are withdrawn after time with the predator. They dissociate, they stay alone in their room or just isolated. very quiet, very anxious. Or the opposite can happen where they're fawning. They're staying around the abuser, pretending that they like them, which sometimes they really believe it. They convince themselves enough to believe that the abuser is good because keeping the abuser happy feels safer than when the abuser is bullying and shaming them and blaming them. That happens in deep grooming. Like if it's repetitive or there's been a lot of grooming done, the child will give the benefit of the doubt and see the adult as having good intentions, even though they're being harmed. They lie to themselves to survive, to cope. It gets confusing. The body may react like the body does react always like you're being abused. Even if you have like reactions, if the child has reactions to the abuse that I don't know how to say that. Like if their body reacts like they're enjoying it, that is not proof that it's not abuse. Because truly, deep down, you're frozen, usually. You're frozen because you know it's dangerous. You know you can't, like, say no. So your mind copes the only way it knows how. Some people lie to themselves and try their best to pretend like it was a good thing. And that can be very hard for some children to realize when they get older. That creates a lot of shame. Like, they feel responsible, even though deep down they never wanted it. They never liked it. They were always screaming inside for protection. I do have some other things I could say in here. Hold on. Okay, some other tactics from my personal experience, from my predator. I mentioned this in some other videos. She would smirk at me all the time, and usually it included a wink. And that is something she did before and after abusing me, sometimes during, as if it was special and fun and our little secret. Is like sometimes I'd walk out of my door to go to the bathroom. She's like sitting where she can see the hallway, and she looks at me and smirks at me and like nods her head to the bathroom. Then I'd get sexually abused in the bathroom. Things like that. That happened a lot in showers for me. She'd say things like, our special secret to me, or we know what we are. I had no idea what that really meant back then. I did not understand her language for things. I just thought she was weird. I just thought, like, she's trying to be cool and sweet, but it's not, I don't understand. I never understood. I was always confused and angry and frustrated, but I could not protect myself. More things she would say is, let's play our favorite game. Or, Dad wouldn't understand. Dad wouldn't get it. You know how he is. They say things like this about safe adults, that those adults wouldn't get it. They don't understand. You know they'd get mad. They'd think you're weird. they think we're weird. Trying to make it like you're in on it. So places, there's showers, bathrooms, private rooms, hallways, pools, cars. For me, her parents' house, random houses for trafficking, parks, parking lots, and cars. A lot of parking lots. Times, early morning, shower time, nighttime, and then just minimal harassment throughout the day, like the winks and like brushing against me, or very touchy hugs, which was like sexual harassment. That's what it felt like. Planning showers, planning when kids get ready, and getting really upset if those plans change, like really upset, like visibly anxious. I swear my abuser would have like withdrawals if she didn't have access to children alone. Okay, and then this section, checking in on kids while they were playing, having their fun time with other kids. And these are some comments she would make, checking in on us. Are y'all behaving? Better not be doing anything naughty. What? We were so young. We were always so confused. Like, why would she even think that? Why is she being like that? Another thing. You guys are too cute. Want to play a game? Oh, yeah, because I like to dance with my friends, so she'd be like, are y'all dancing? Let me see. You can dance how you're usually not allowed to around the other adults. I'm safe. Usually trying to get me to dance sexually for her, which I didn't really realize until I was an adult, like this year. In cars, there's a lot of sexual harassment, like touching on my waist, thighs, privates, breasts, arms, hair, face. She'd say comments to me in the car, like, you're getting so grown, look at you. I can't imagine what boys think of you. Do you like anyone? Have you done anything with a boy yet? I bet those boys would love your outfit. Always just emphasizing things with trying to force me to like do things or think about boys. Making me very uncomfortable, especially because I heard her tone with it. It's different when it's like innocent asking, but there was a dark undertone to her comments. Don't be shy. So another thing she was saying all the time, because I would freeze around her, is don't be shy, you're acting all new. And then she'd glare at me and laugh. She'd say, you're so cute when you're quiet. And she'd start touching me. She'd take me with her to run errands, trafficking, but would buy me food or take me to stores after, masking the whole situation as fun and special. I felt trapped and harassed and betrayed, yet forced to act happy and grateful for what was happening. That's all I'm gonna say in this video. That was a lot of information, exposing how women predators are, especially mine. I hope that this helps more parents and adults protect children, notice signs, be more weary with who you're letting watching your children. And these things happen to little boys and little girls, from women and men. Both. Woman predator can hurt a little girl and a little boy. A man predator can hurt a little boy and a little girl. There's no discrimination. And all victims are valid. And I am a huge advocate for women or girls who have been abused by a woman. I'm gonna stop there. I hope this helps a lot of people, parents, adults, and victims of abuse. I hope you feel less alone and more clear about what you went through, more validated and seen, and feel less alone, especially us girls who have been hurt by women. It's not talked about enough. And men who have been hurt by women. Just women predators are not talked about enough.